watched uh, Raw Raw today.
Yes.
So, did you see? God, there was somebody. There's a few things. There's um, so many suggestions around how the Wyatt Six family is going to be specific people, mostly like, of course, Eric Redbeard and Bo Dallas. They'll
Yeah.
get repackaged, and that makes sense. But then the other three, they're picking up like Liv Morgan. They're picking up Alexa. They're picking up two NXT superstars as well as like Dexter Loomis and um, Champa.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, it's for sure gonna be these people because look at all this stuff. But Hunter is very dead set on like if they bring anybody up from NXT, they're not repackaging them, they're not rebranding them. They will stick with the name they have to like build that loyalty.
Those are his that's his baby right there.
Oh yeah,
I can see why. I did, but I heard Gacy, who's also an NXT guy, right? They said they think he's the pig or whatever. That's suspected,
yeah.
obviously.
Who was it? There, D-Bar was slated for Vulture. I was like, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. It's all about repackaging and rebranding people, but
I did read more about Corbin, which I don't think is Corbin anymore.
no.
Since he left with JBL.
Yeah.
And they're doing a $1 Million Man type faction. Not like exactly $1 Million Man, but the Richie Rich style, with JBL being the head of that one.
$1 Million Man style, yeah, it's fine.
And it's
I don't think that's gonna work because JBL is not a good manager.
No, he's not, but he's not. It's not horrible on the mic, but he's not the best either. I mean, he's like, in my opinion, he's an MVP style mic guy. I don't like MVP on the mic.
MVP is better than JBL. He may sound very sophisticated, and that's where he gets a lot of trouble from.
Mm-hmm.
The other side is like at least he knows how to talk and articulate on the mic. JBL does not.
No.
And like he comes across like, maybe it's just because he was Bradshaw and then JBL, so he was like a drunk bar fighter, and now he's a rich Texas man. And there's no real like fine line he has to walk between the two. So it's really weird.
No. I mean, he's just a drunken bar fighter who, if you look at it, just got money.
Yeah.
And now talks. But,
But he's the one that shouldn't be talking. Like him and like that was the best thing about him and Farouk is the fact that they didn't have to talk too much to get their point across. They were protection.
Mm-hmm. I did say that I think Bo Dallas is going to be the Fiend.
Yeah.
And then
I think I
don't know who the hell.
I think I called that one on our not ECW Extreme Rules.
The Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Which I'm cool with it. Is he going to be? I'm assuming he's going to be a Puppet Master style with the mask that he had.
Like Bray Wyatt's going to be a Puppet Master.
Yeah, with that mask that he had and like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be an overall like. These are people that got screwed or underrepresented in their first runs. And then now they're going to be set up to just be successful. But I just hope they don't keep, like Bo Dallas, I hope they don't keep his name. I hope he goes by purely the Fiend until this whole thing is over and we never see his face.
He can go by Bo Wyatt.
Bo is too innocent of a name. That's the thing. Like, Bo is like Bo Peep, little Bo Peep.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very passive name.
Mm.
Very bitch name, whatever you want to call it. So, that's just my things. I saw somebody posted that this isn't the end of the White Rabbit. And the White Rabbit was, in fact, not just Bray Wyatt, but that's how they're going to
introduce new things.
Yeah, introduce more creative style of the house. Like somebody said, there's a White Rabbit QR code from Monday night that you can only catch if you watch the full thing live because Hulu cuts out parts of it. And they said one of the QR codes leads to a like another puzzle or some type of sorts where it ends up being very flashy, and people are interpreting that as flair. Because to be flashy is to have flair, and to have flair means you're Charlotte fucking Flair. So,
Mm.
but with that said, glad she didn't come back at Extreme Rules.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, by the way, just in general?
Of her not coming back.
No, of the pay per view.
The pay-per-view was okay. I it was all right. I wasn't like blown away by it, but I do see that one. You could clearly see it's end of an era, and Monday night started everything new with, and because you can clearly see with Riddle and Rollins.
Yeah,
Riddle wins, Rollins gets the title the next night,
yeah.
type thing. So you mean you killed that storyline and moved on to it, and now it's, which is still weird of Lesnar and Lashley, but
It's not. I mean that makes sense. That's been like what 15, 20 years almost in the making. And they
yeah.
the first time they went around, they were just it was shit. So now
I,
that
I
Hunter's
just
in
I
control,
just kind of I don't like how they kind of just threw it on Rollins to take the title that way, but it is Rollins and he's an opportunist. So
but it also kept Bobby Lashley looking strong. Like that was the only way Rollins could ever beat Lashley. So if Lashley wants to get the title back, or sorry, if they write the story where Lashley gets the title back, they can very much go, "You didn't beat me fair and square." It took Lesnar coming out, putting me in F5, hit me with F5, putting me in the Kimura lock. That was the only way you won. Without Lesnar, you would have never won.
yeah,
So
and I think they're gonna push Jay Uso more.
I think we're seeing a divide. I
I
mean,
think
we've already started seeing a divide. We called that
yeah,
a while back, but
I think he gets kicked out of the bloodline. Him and Sami Zayn fight for to stay in,
no,
and Jay loses, and he gets a push.
no, I don't think they would do that, especially with Rikishi uh, banking and or begging really hard to WWE to hire uh, his nephew Jacob Fatu from MLW to come over to WWE, and he's like, "You need to get him over, get the Anoya family all the way over, get us all." And
That's a big ass dude, also.
yeah, but I mean, I still think what's gonna happen is maybe Jay versus Sammy does happen. I think that's inevitable. I think if it does, it'll be Sammy gets kicked out of the bloodline purely because of that.
Sami's a big hit right now with everything he's doing.
Yeah, but
People love him.
yeah, but they're gonna set. I still think they're gonna set him up for either a solo run or team him back up with KO and have KO and Sami Zayn, who were massive hit the multiple times they teamed up and every time they get on screen, and then have them go against the Usos and destroy um, that family one by one, basically, and have because right now you have KO and Johnny Gargano are basically alliance or whatever you want to call it, and so he could come over and take a swing at, say, Theory.
Yeah.
Theory has to drop the briefcase to Gargano. Gargano cashes in on Reigns after Sami Zayn and KO just interfere and just beat the ever loving shit out of Reigns, forcing him to drop at least one title. And then you have KO and Zayn with their tag titles and the Gargano with heavyweight or universe, whatever.
Yeah.
Then look at that. They have the title split as USA wanted.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be. Raw confirmed to me that Finn Balor needs to no longer talk. When he said, "I'm too legit to quit," I was done. Like, you're no longer allowed to be on the mic. Go back to being the demon and stop talking. And he was all pumped when he said it too. I'm like, you sound like a fucking idiot. You just quoted MC Hammer.
He,
Like, you're done.
yeah, he needs. this is gonna sound very dominatrix type, but that's kind of where the group is going.
It fits.
But I think he should become the demon and have him almost play the pet and have Rhea and Dominic play almost that Eddie Guerrero and China, and then you have the Fiend, or not the Fiend, sorry, the Demon, and then um, Priest, and Priest can be like, "Here's our pet, the Demon, whatever," and he kind of controls the Demon, or somehow get somebody else involved to control it.
And the shit that Balor wore out
He's
Saturday night, the human head pig cushion, it looked fucking dumb. I don't know who's running his shit, but it's not good. I don't like it. He needs to go back to the demon.
I don't think they're bringing
It's
the Demon up
the
for some time.
the Rhea and Dom thing is still very weird. Dom obviously is not confident on the mic. You can watch it on Raw how Balor is trying to keep him pumped up as they're starting to chant over him. He's like patting his back and talking to him and like keep going,
Oh yeah,
keep
so
going, keep going. And
Priest.
then Rhea's in his ear. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's just
Priest is not.
that.
I
Well,
don't think Dominic's ready.
that's the whole. That's the whole. My whole problem with Judgment Day is none of them other than Rhea. Rhea's good on the mic, but even then,
Mhm.
she she struggles with certain aspects on the mic, and I think they definitely need like a strong manager head to come in and kind of, like Paul Heyman. The manager is the one that's doing all the talking, and he's the
Yeah,
puppet or whatever you want to call it. Just
yeah.
that group is not set up for success, and I was hoping Hunter would have Finn lose so where it starts like dissolving and then break them all off, and then you can still have Rhea and Dominic go together, and you can have Priest on a solo run, and then have Finn Balor get a solo run. But uh, Finn Balor is set to get a big push, which means Judgment Day as a whole is going to get a big push. Because Finn Balor is
We'll
Triple
see. Because
H's, like, that was his first big guy, was Finn Balor. First
I think
successful guy.
after we'll see what happens at War Games because it's going to be interesting there.
Yeah. Well, everyone's not. Uh, everyone's really seems conflicted on this whole Liv versus Ronda match because of how it ended, where you see Liv getting choked out by Ronda's calf thigh slash butt and her smiling as she passes out. Everybody's like, that's just, she can't pull off the. I think one post I saw something about like, she can't pull off the kinky vibe. Please stop. She can't do it. And that's why she's slated to be with the
That's what they
White
were talking about.
Six. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like she knew what was happening and didn't really care
But
type
they,
thing. Like you beat me, but you can't hurt me like I'm crazy.
well, yeah, but it, I think again, I kind of like with Reigns making people just pass out on his headlock. Like it keeps that person they're competing against looking strong, and that they were just simply choked out. So Ronda, yes, won, yes, beat Liv, but she didn't make Liv tap and she didn't pin Liv. So did she really
Mm-hmm.
beat Liv? I think it's setting up for a bigger story arc, and we're gonna see a best of three. Sadly, they're not interesting to watch, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
yeah, I will say I think the ladder match was fun, not the way I wanted it to go, but that was the match I thought Flair would come back in. So,
Yeah, it was. It's all right. I don't know. Some of the matches were the Edge Finn Balor match was good.
I mean,
It was all
you were
right.
right. They took it darker. They concerto Beth. So,
Yeah.
uh, so I think you're right there. They're gonna push that edgier, and then McIntyre and Cross just that felt weird. Like it felt forced. That makes sense.
In a strap match. Strap match at that are not good. They're boring. I mean, you
Well,
can only do so much in a strap match,
they're
and McIntyre, I don't think is into it anymore.
they're good. They can be good matches if they're against two big heavyweight guys. McIntyre is a big guy and crosses, he's a good size, but they're not big brick shit houses like Cena is, or even JBL, even though he was fat back then. But you had two big, actual big guys doing it. You're like, okay, this makes sense. And then you
Yeah,
have McIntyre, who just looks like a brick shit house compared to Cross, and you're like, oh, this is stupid.
yeah.
I think the Donnybrook match honestly stole it from the get go.
It was a good match. I will. It was better than what I thought it was going to be,
It
and
was better than the other
seeing
matches.
yeah, it was. It was. I just want Dominic to go away. I'm kind of tired of him. This I
Why?
want to get
Because
away from my
he's
dad, but I want to.
what? Because he's been an active wrestler for 2 years. He's shit.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Like, and I love that everyone's still comparing him to Logan Paul. A YouTube social media icon. It makes sense that Logan's a good talker, good promoter, all the
Yeah.
mic skills in the world, and wrestling just comes natural to him. Cool. And then you have Dominic, who's in the literal wrestling lineage on both
Since he was
sides.
little.
Like Eddie Guerrero, wrestling lineage, Rey Mysterio, wrestling lineage, and yet he's like the shiny turd that's just being dragged along just because he holds that Mysterio name.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going to amount to much. I think he's got way too much push behind him and not enough potential or talent to do it.
He he
'Cause I don't think he's
needs.
had a match in like a month or two.
I don't think he's had a match.
He's had a match since Rhea since he joined. Has he's had one, hasn't he? Because swear I saw one, maybe not. I wouldn't surprised if he hasn't because I was gonna say he hasn't, but I thought he had one. I don't remember. That's how good of a match it was if he did have one.
I think he did. He wrestled on June 6th.
June 6th.
No, he faced. That's the only one that's popped up. But he faced Edge. September 12th against Edge. So a month. But he needs to go to NXT. He needs to be repackaged, rebranded completely, and they need to just get away from the he's a Mysterio. He needs to, like, kind of how they did with Solo Sika, where it was yes, he's part of the Noah family, but he's solo. He's his own person. Not, oh, he's The Rock's cousin. Oh, he's Roman Reigns' cousin. Oh, no. They didn't fucking mention any of that shit until he was getting ready to be called up to the roster. And they're like, oh, let's start hyping this connection up. And now you're like, ugh, he has no title. And they strip him of the North American title because he's not as popular with the viewers.
I did notice that Bailey has become more unathletic.
Oh yeah,
It appears. I don't know
yeah.
if it's the fact that she is completely out of shape. She did not look at all she used to. Obviously, she's put on weight. She's thicker, but she does not look athletically sound to do any of the stuff she was doing in the ring. So it's very clunky and everything. It was very odd to see because she's had good matches in the past, but man, she just does not look like she's
No,
how she used to be.
that that match, even though yes, it was like first of its kind, first of a kind. It just
Yeah.
she like I definitely felt like Bianca had to work extra hard to make the match look decent. It was not a good match. It was a decent match at best. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah.